What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What up, doe? How y'all doing up in this piece? What's going on with y'all? Happy Friday night, guys. Some of y'all know preparing to put something on the grill. Anybody barbecuing for the holiday? Y'all just let me know, and I will be stopping by. Y'all just let me know, and I'll be stopping by. Guys, we gonna get into it. We got some hot topics that we're gonna be talking about. Thank y'all for being so patient, waiting on me to put a show together for you guys. I know I've been trying to just get out here and stay engaged, you guys, but there's been a lot going on. But we made some tough decisions so we can free up our schedule. And so we did that. I had to do a little bit of you know, checking and balancing because I'm like, it's wait a minute, it's a little bit too much. There's a little bit going on. I had to calm down. Sometimes you can't put everything on your plate and try to do it. So I had to fall back for a minute. And so that's what we did. I hope you guys had a wonderful, fantastic day. I hope it was fulfilled. I hope that you are if you're not already on holiday or on vacation, I hope that you're getting ready to get on vacation and be around your families and friends, and then just enjoy your weekend. Some of us have a 4-day weekend, and I'm going to enjoy it. Today we were off today, but I also had some stuff to do, and that reminds me, I'm gonna have to go into the system because I totally forgot. But anywho, we here now and we free, and I'm here to run my mouth. Y'all know this morning, if y'all saw my live this morning, I ran my mouth. What the Scorpio mama said? She said you'd have got long winded. I got long winded this morning because when I go to talk about my man, honey, I get passionate about it. And so yeah, I kind of ran long this morning, but I knew I was coming back on tonight. So we're gonna get into our hot topics. We got two topics that we're gonna be talking about this evening, and it is none other than your Puff Daddy, P Diddy, Puff, Brother Love, whatever aliases he got. Yeah, we're gonna be talking about it. And we also gonna cover the Rodney Hinton story. That was very intriguing to me. When I saw it last week, and I knew I was gonna cover it this week. There has been an update in his case, so we're gonna go ahead and talk about Mr. Rodney Hinton. And then we're gonna also talk about um Puff Daddy. Now I will tell y'all Puff Daddy segment is sponsored by Johnson and Johnson. We gonna make it real greasy up in this piece tonight, okay? Y'all did, you did. You understand what I'm saying? But we're gonna cover Puffy last, and we're gonna go ahead and dive into the Rodney Hinton story. But you know what? I'm gonna pause for the cause, guys, and y'all know the cause is support. Check this out. Check it out. Our entrepreneur spotlight is shining on the creator of My Lips Cosmetics. My Lips Cosmetics is like liquid gold. The Affinity Collection is a liquid matte lipstick for all day wear. My cosmetic product line includes My Glitter, luxury lip gloss, My Brows, and an arsenal of cosmetic product. Your lips will not only look absolutely perfect, they will feel soft and weightless. No touch-up needed, ladies. Check it out.
I believe is a lifestyle brand for anyone who believes in something greater than themselves. The time is now to simply believe.
Yes, guys, check out I Believe. That's my bro, Dennis Gregory. He got hoodies, hats, t-shirts, shorts, jerseys, whatever you want. He has it, and his logo is to believe in something greater than yourself. Guys, I think that is the Lord. And then also check out My Lips Cosmetics. That's the only lipstick that I'm rocking. I gotta re-up, but her stuff lasts all day long, and my lips be popping. You understand what I'm saying? That's how I snag my husband with these lips. You understand what I'm saying? So go tell her that your girl, see, bright is sending you her way, and I'm quite sure she got something special for you. All right, in every shade and every color, she does not discriminate. All right, so you can check all of those vendors on social media, Facebook, they're everywhere. Okay, all right, so let's get into Rodney Hinton. Listen, I have some information that I want to share with you all, so you all can kind of just get a leg up on what's going on in his story. So we're going to sit back and we're going to go ahead and watch this, and then we are going to discuss. I thought that this was quite intriguing. Okay, guys. All right, check this out.
Front of a judge today on new charges. Rodney Hinton Jr. now faces the death penalty. WCPO 9 News reporter Valerie Lyons was in the courtroom. And Valerie, you talked with Hinton's attorney, who says his defense that is, hinges on one issue.
Yeah, Tanya, apologies. I'm going to keep it quick because this rain is coming straight into my face right now. But essentially, Rodney Hinton Jr.'s attorney told me it comes down to his mindset, how he was thinking at the time of this offense. He says it's a straightforward issue, but he's confident it'll be resolved by the time this trial starts, which the judge tentatively set a date for sometime next February.
With his attorney by his side and several deputies standing guard, Rodney Hinton Jr. walked into a new courtroom Tuesday.
We're here today because Mr. Hinton has been indicted by the grand jury.
Hinton is accused of intentionally running down Hamilton County Deputy Larry Henderson earlier this month. He's now facing 4 new charges. 2 are aggravated murder, each of which carries a possible death sentence.
County prosecutor's office, their office, they're trying to kill him.
After Hinton pled not guilty, we spoke with his attorney. Clyde Bennett says Hinton had a mental disorder leading up to the events on May 2nd. That morning, Hinton and his family viewed body camera video of a Cincinnati police officer shooting.
Okay, so if you all are not familiar with the story, we're going to go ahead and share just the keynotes of the story. So the young man that they showed in the video was the son of Rodney Hinton. He was 18 years old. Apparently there was something involving the police, an incident involving the police, and he was fleeing the area, and so he was shot in the back by the officer. Okay, so Mr. Hinton, the father, he ran over that same officer, and it wasn't like the same day, but he actually went back and took the officer's life. Now what they're saying is that Mr. Hinton has some type of mental or illness. He went to the police station to find out that his son had passed away, and they're saying just by chance he ran into that officer at a stoplight, and they're saying that he pursued the officer and killed him. Okay, so they just reined him up on some new charges. The community has like kind of I guess they were raising money, and they're saying that people had donated tens of thousands of dollars to his case. So let's get into the specifics, okay? All right, before we start to digest this. It says the day after, and I'm taking my notes and stuff from I want to say the Independent. It's called the Independent. I'm thinking that's a local publication. So it says the day after learning his 18-year-old son had been killed by Cincinnati police, Rodney Hinton Jr. sat down with his family to watch the body cam footage on the teenager's final moment. Too distraught to watch it in full, Hinton left the police station before the video ended. Now, let's just stop right there. First of all, they're questioning his competency to stand trial. Now, listen, that right there alone lets me know that man was not thinking in his right mind. He was not clear. You're gonna watch your son get killed. You're not in sound mind at all. And so even the police, I'm jumping ahead of myself, but even the police were questioning if he can drive safely, and they really didn't want him to leave the police station because they were concerned about his mental capacity. Now that he's on trial for murdering one of his own, they're saying they're trying to refute that. So he left the police station before he can watch the ending of the video. It says a few hours later, according to prosecutors, he drove his car at a high speed towards officers Larry Henderson, who was directing doing traffic duty. He was directing a college graduation at an intersection, killing him. Henderson, a 57-year-old father of 5, had retired last December. So he's not the officer that killed the son. However, he was working for the police department. I'm sorry about that. I just want to make that a clear clarification. Okay, so he was working at an intersection, sorry. And he killed him. Henderson, a 57-year-old father of 5, had retired last December after over 3 decades as a Hamilton County Sheriff deputy, but returned occasionally for a special duty. He didn't have anything to do with the teen's death, and it seemed to have been chosen simply because he was a police officer. Now, I just don't believe that. I just don't believe that. I feel like that officer was in place on his way on the same route as the dad was leaving. I just don't believe this. Hey, comedian Michael, I don't say nothing but love your way, bro, because you deserve it. You just not gonna make me believe that this young man purposely went and found this cop and intentionally killed him. I feel like this cop was there doing his traffic duties, and Mr. Rodney Hinton was just there, or he was just on his route. Okay, so they're saying that he just simply killed the man because he was a police officer. In the weeks since Hinton carried out the car attack, he has attracted thousands of supporters online. Fans edit of his court appearance have gone viral with millions of views. Nearly $100,000 has been donated to support his defense and his family. Now, there was a video floating around where he was in the elevator with 3 white police officers, looking dilapidated, looking lethargic, looking like, because he got shot too. I think they said he had got shot at least twice, if I'm not mistaken, in the arm. I think was one of the areas. Okay, and so it looked like they was getting ready to do some damage. Y'all know how the internet can be. Y'all know how TikTok can be. Y'all know how our people can be. But all of a sudden, a black officer came into the elevator with him to take that ride with him, along with those other white cops. And you can see their expressions kind of change. You can see the relief in Mr. Hinton's face. Now, I don't condone murder at all. Let's be clear. I do not condone murder at all. I don't do that. You know what I'm saying? But I do believe everybody has a right to stand trial and have their day in court. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no telling what this man has been through since he been behind bars. Because once you hit somebody in blue, honey, it's over. It's over. Especially you've been held in custody, it's over. You know what I'm saying? So it looked like he been through a lot because he can barely stand. I'm like, I don't know what they was doing to him while he was in prison, but the man can barely stand. You understand what I'm saying? So that video on TikTok has been going around where a black officer came in. There's also another video where 2 separate black men, I believe, were talking about it publicly, and then one was talking about on his job, and both of them lost their jobs because they spoke on this story. Both of them lost their jobs, and both of them were black. So yeah, this is a very controversial topic, and people feel how they want to feel. Okay. So Hinton's defenders have sought to place his actions in the context of institutional police violence against black people. Wow. A lot of African Americans are tired of police seemingly unjustifiably killing black individuals without recourse or without punishment. That was a quote in the Independent, okay, the article. So he says, some say they understood how a pain of losing a son at the hand of police could have caused Hinton to lash out in the way that he did. Others compare it to the alleged killing of a healthcare executive by Luigi Magoni. No, I don't believe that. Those are 2 different types of crimes. The crime for the head of the healthcare the head of the healthcare organization who got shot, that was a political thing. That was a political thing, and then some of it was personal, but it was not a passion, And then not only that, the father has a history of mental illness, so he most definitely wasn't thinking clearly at all. Compounding with the loss of just watching the murder of his son, yeah, he's gonna be mentally unstable. And I do believe he's not competent to take a stand, because while he was doing the arraignment in court, and I watched the whole video in its totality, the lawyer was speaking for him. It was answering the questions for him. And even the judge was asking the lawyer, hey, do he understand? Has he been understanding? Have you been able to communicate to him clearly? And the lawyer even said, I have tried. Not yes, no, maybe. He said, I'll try. So that to me lets me know something is going on. But when he left the court prior to this last arraignment, he told the officer to stand up against the wall. He said he's never coming back. And he was talking about the officer. He said he's never coming back. I mean, that thing hurt him. And you just don't know. You just don't know what death does. That's that man's son. You just don't know what snapped in his mind. The pain. Grief cannot be measured. That is an immeasurable pain. You understand what I'm saying? Nobody can tell you how much grief you need to have or how long you should be in grieving. And this is traumatic. This was traumatic. This man, you can tell that his son was everything to him. So I feel like this was a crime of passion, and I feel like he had temporarily insanity. I honestly do. I honestly do believe that. It says Hinton actions have been received and accepted by lots of people because they can identify and relate to his experience, and they believe that they can understand what he did. Because they may have done the same thing in similar circumstances. I don't know. I honestly do not know. I mean, you kill my cat, I kill your dog. I do not know. You know what I'm saying? I know there's been times, there are certain ones in my life that something go on, I'm standing in front. You're gonna have to most definitely get through me to get to them. That's just it. That's just the way it's set up. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's coming for my husband. Nobody's coming for my brother. That's just the way it is. You're gonna most definitely have to get to my brother to get to me. And hope you make it out alive. That's just the way it's set up. I'm sorry. That's just the way it's set up. The article goes on and says Hinton faces the possibility of death penalty. And I watched the judge read thoroughly his situation and the counts that he's been accused of. And he just been brought up on 2 more counts. See, they trying to lock him up. Not just for murder. They bringing in so many different felony counts, and so a couple of them carry life without parole. A couple of them carry life with the parole after 25 years. One, I think, is after 50 years he can get parole. One is a death sentence if he get found guilty. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna make sure that he's gonna be behind bars. So I just don't see no feasible way where he will be walking around in public. You understand what I'm saying? He's not gonna. I don't see this. But the thing is, how is he gonna spend the remainder of his life? Will he spend it in a mental institution, or it's gonna be behind bars? Or is he gonna be in a prison mental institution? I truly believe that this man lost his mind, and that is totally understandable. I truly believe that this man lost it. That he was overwhelmed with grief and had a psychotic break. I truly believe that. The article says possible of death penalty if he is convicted on charges 2 counts of aggravated murder on a retired deputy. Bennett says his client intended to plead not guilty, which he did, by reason of insanity, which I totally believe. Explaining that seeing the video of his son's death triggered a psychotic episode. And I haven't even got down to the end of the article, and I just said the same thing. That man had a psychotic break. This is a quote. I've got the medical records to prove it. He was not in his right mind when he committed the act that he did. So apparently, this man has a history of mental illness. He has a history of mental illness, and he's been on medication. And it looks like they were saying allegedly that he had been off of his medication for a while. Now, if he can prove that he has a history of mental illness and that he has a prescription and it hasn't been refilled, then that's all he needs to plead for insanity. But I don't know if that district is gonna let him get off like that. I feel like they want to throw the book at him. They don't care if he is crazy. You know what I'm saying? Once you kill a police officer, a pillar in the community like that, he got kids and he got the color for the protection. You understand what I'm saying? It's gonna go down. It's just gonna go down. Okay. I told y'all earlier, well, a couple of weeks ago, when I went over that video, that was oh my God, I forgot where was that at? Where they had all that violence going on in that neighborhood? Milwaukee, was it Milwaukee? I said to y'all, I feel like this gonna be a certain type of summer. I felt like the temperature for racism, and the police. I'm feeling like this. If we don't get it together, if we don't cool our temperaments down, it's gonna be a different kind of summer. Because the police is feeling empowered. Didn't I say that a couple of weeks ago before this even happened? I said that on the line. The police feel empowered because of who is in the Oval Office. Bottom line. And they feel like they can do what they want to do with no consequence. How are you shooting somebody in the back? They're not posing a threat because they're running away from you. You understand what I'm saying? The police feel empowered because they got the backing of the president to do whatever allegedly to do whatever the heck they want to do with people who do not look like them. Did y'all see how the president let all of the white South African farmers in with immediate citizenship because they felt threatened by their black government? Let them in the country. Immediate citizenship. What about all the black farmers over there? And then you taking all of our international intellectuals over at Harvard, and you're making them have to leave Harvard and find somewhere else to go to school because you feel like they don't deserve that type of education. You getting ready to cut aid to a private school. Y'all better understand what's going on. He is stirring the pot for some type of international, some type of colorist, racial explosion. And that's why I'm saying, listen, keep your temperament, keep your mind. This man literally lost his mind. And they're going to try to throw the book at him. So he said, I got records to prove that he was not in this is his lawyer talking, that he was not in his right mind when he committed this act. It said he did not understand the wrongfulness of his conduct because of his mental condition. I think he was insane at the time, Bennett said. The investigation into the police killing of Ryan Hinton is ongoing. They still investigating his son murder, but they're going to fast track his trial. How you going to fast track his trial and you ain't even brother? See, they trying to throw the book at him before they even prove. They're not gonna put those policemen on trial. They're not gonna say that policeman had any wrongdoing. You know what I'm saying? That's crazy to me. They still investigating the death of his son, but they're gonna fast track his trial. See, that's crazy to me. That's really crazy. Police body cam footage from May 2nd in the East Price Hill neighborhood of Cincinnati shows officers arriving at a stolen vehicle packed on a dead-end street and 4 men running from the vehicle. A man later identified as Ryan Hinton is seen dashing out from between the two dumpsters and away, that's the key word now, away from the officers. You know what? Let me just run this video back for y'all right quick before we get done with this article. Let me just run this back for y'all.
In front of a judge today on new charges. Rodney Hinton Jr. now faces the death penalty. WCPO 9 News reporter Valerie Lyons was in the courtroom. And Valerie, you talked with Hinton's attorney, who says his defense hinges on one issue.
Yeah, Tanya, apologies. I'm going to keep it quick because this raid is coming straight into my face right now. But essentially, Rodney Hinton Jr.'s attorney told me it comes down to his mindset, how he was thinking at the time of this offense. He says it's a straightforward issue, but he's confident it'll be resolved by the time this trial starts, which the judge tentatively set a date for sometime next February.
With his attorney by his side and several deputies standing guard, Rodney Hinton Jr. walked into a new courtroom Tuesday.
We're here today because Mr. Hinton has been indicted by the grand jury.
Hinton is accused of intentionally running down Hamilton County Deputy Larry Henderson earlier this month. He's now facing 4 new charges. 2 are aggravated murder, each of which carries a possible death sentence.
County prosecutor's office, their office, they're trying to kill him.
After Hinton pled not guilty, we spoke with his attorney. Clyde Bennett says Hinton had a mental disorder leading up to the events on May 2nd. That morning, Hinton and his family viewed body camera video of a Cincinnati police officer shooting.
You can see him running away. You know what I'm saying? You can see him running away from the police officer. So they didn't pose a threat. They were trying to catch him, but he didn't pose a threat. You know what I'm saying? You shoot, okay, you gonna shoot at him anyway. All right, shoot him in the leg. You know what I'm saying? You gonna kill him. They shot him, I think, 4 times, if I'm not mistaken. And you can look in that man's face and see that he has, and I ain't trying to be funny. I know something going on in his mind, but then he can look at his face and see that he has no regret. And I'm not trying to be funny, and I don't know. I'm just guesstimating. But his stance was saying, I'm gonna do the time. I'm gonna do the time because that was his son. I'm not, and I don't justify. I don't believe in murder. I don't believe that. I don't unless it's self-defense. You understand what I'm saying? But that man was hurt. You can tell he was hurt. Okay. So it says he was running it from the vehicle. It says a man later identified as Ryan Hinton was seen dashing out from between the dumpsters away from the officers. As he did so, one of the officers shouted, "He got a gun," several times. Another officer opened fire and continues firing as Hinton runs past him. I gotta watch the whole video. I didn't necessarily see that. I'm gonna have to watch the video and see if he had a gun. I'm gonna have to watch that again. It says police later showed photograph of a loaded gun. They said Hinton was holding. I promise you, I'm gonna have to go read that. The coroner said the round that likely killed Hinton entered just under the armpits, ricocheted off his ribs, hit his heart, and exited from the through his chest. Cincinnati Police Chief Teresa Thiege defended the officer who fired the shot. This is a quote. He said, based on the officer's interview, the officer who did the discharge fired the arm, said that when the individual came out between the dumpsters, he had a firearm in front of him. He was in a light bladed position. And the gun was pointed at the officer, and he felt threatened for his life. And that's why he discharged his firearm. Now, this is what they're saying. That's why they shot him. Hey, Queens, I said nothing but love your way, Scorpio mama. Because guess what? You deserve it. Okay. We're talking about the Rodney Hinton story, Scorpio. Okay, and so after that, he said the day after the shooting, Hinton and the rest of Ryan's Hinton family were invited into the police station to watch the footage of the incident for themselves. Thiege met with the family at 9:30 a.m. to review the footage. After just 20 minutes, Hinton says he was so upset he left the building. The Hamilton County prosecutor, Connie Phillips, said at a press conference Hinton's family was worried about his mental state in the hour after he seen the footage. And what father would not be crazy? You know what I'm saying? What father would not be crazy after seeing their son being shot down? Now, we're not condoning his actions. We're not condoning the son's actions. We're not condoning what put the son in that position. We're not condoning that. But what we're trying to debate is the mental composition of this man who just saw his son be killed. He was not in his right mind. And not only that, he had a history of mental illness. And not only that, they said allegedly he wasn't on his medicine. Okay, so that's what happened. But he ain't went out and just purposely went and killed nobody. But they gonna bring up so much charges on this man, he's not gonna be able to beat it, unfortunately. And I feel mental health is illness is real amongst our black men. It just really is. But I feel like he had a break in his mind. That was it. And you can see it in his face. He's like, whatever, I'll do the time. You understand what I'm saying? That is so unfortunate. It is so unfortunate. I hate to see this. But what has happened is, like I said, the community have rallied around and they have donated at least $100,000 to his to his case. Okay. So they watched it. He said he only could get through 20 minutes. He was so upset. The family was worried about him, and his mental state. His family was worried about him hours after he had seen the footage. So it says just after 1 p.m., Hinton pulled over into the middle lane and looked down the hill with Hinton, a Marine veteran. Now you see how they building the man. Now I'm not. No man deserves to die. This man don't deserve to die. But once you mess up, honey, they're going to seal the deal. You hear me? It says Henderson, a Marine veteran, was directing traffic at an intersection for the University of Cincinnati spring graduation ceremony. Henderson was standing just off the road underneath a tree for shade. Hinton, now you see, you know his name, the officer's name is Henderson. The father's name is Hinton, you guys. So if you hear me saying that is similar. Okay. So Henderson was standing just off the road underneath the tree for shade. Hinton then floors the vehicle according to Phillip across the traffic lanes and drove it directly at Henderson, hitting him. That, my friend, I feel was rage. That was rage. He lost his mind. This man wasn't mentally sound. He wasn't in a good space. He could not have a rationale at that time. He was angry and he was missing his boy. I think what would be fair for him, yeah, okay, you're going to spend the rest of your life behind bars. But I feel like the fact that he has a history of mental illness, I feel like he does not need to die because his rationale was off. You know. So it says that he never veered off course. He never slowed down. They're saying Hinton appeared in court for his arraignment the day after he was in court. It says the courtroom was packed with local police officers together with a sizable number of Hinton Jr.'s family members. Soon after, video began appearing on TikTok and other social media. One video, like more than 412,000 times, showed a slow motion clip of Hinton walking past a long line of police officers in the courtroom, set to Sam Cooke's civil rights anthem, "A Change Is Gonna Come." Another version of the same clip captioned "The hate in their eyes," referring to the police officers, have been liked 1.6 million times. Now, you know what? I don't know why our people do this. Now, and I'm going to say this, and I don't want nobody to get mad at me. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes we want social justice. Sometimes we want that revenge, and we say, look at what they've done to us. And yes, historically, the police have been unfair to minorities, especially black minorities. Yes, have the police unjustly killed tons of black people? Yes, they have. I understand that. But let's get a clear scope of what's going on here. This man was mentally ill. I don't want to celebrate mental illness. I don't want that. I don't want no national anthem playing because it's not a happy ending because the son is dead. The father, they're gonna try to kill him. They're probably beating him now. You know what I'm saying? And he gonna spend the rest of his life in jail. It's not a win-win for nobody. No ethnic group is winning in this situation. The officer who had nothing to do with the case, he's gone. His children's gonna be grown without a father. I'm sorry. I think that this is not proportioned correctly. And no, we don't need to be making these type of videos. I'm sorry. In one instance, they're saying t-shirts, yard signs, and mugs for $20 a piece, and emblazed with images of Hinton in an orange jumpsuit walking by police officers in the courtroom with the words "Free Rodney Hinton Jr." are available to buy online. Okay, for me, that's just simply ridiculous. In Cincinnati, Hinton's actions were largely condemned, but online they sparked a debate about the lasting impact of police and violence in the Black American. We know it's going on, and it's going to continue to go on until we get some type of reform, until we get some stuff on in legislation, consequences for excessive abuse. I don't know with this president in office. I don't know. He done freed people who infringed on our capital and destroyed it and killed a person. They're all walking around free now. I don't know where this man mind is at. You understand what I'm saying? This is where we at. And so it says Rodney Hinton Jr. doing what he does, doing what he did was absolutely a direct reaction to watching the body cam footage of his son, but also feel like decades of watching Black people suffer at the hands of police brutality and be failed by the justice system played a role in his actions. I don't know. What do you guys think? What do you guys think about this? It says if your team and now you see the diversity that's happening now, even in this article. They're saying if you team Mahoney, you should be team Rodney Hinton Jr. too. Both men were pushed to the brink of violent system. It's not no teams. It's not no teams. What this is tragic. I'm not gonna continue on in this article because I feel like it's just it ain't what it should be. But you know, this is divisive. This is very divisive, and that's why I said, please, y'all, keep your cool, your temperament when y'all dealing with the police. Cause I feel like this is gonna be one of them hot protesting summers, cause it's too much going on already, and that's why I believe the Lord is keeping the temperature cool. Because you know, it's something about that hot sun hitting that pavement. You know what I'm saying? And people feeling themselves, and you feeling the joys of summer, and you just begin to act erratic and all. Everybody want to party hard. Listen, keep your temperament because I feel like this gonna be some type of summer. I really do. I really do. So now this man is facing the death penalty, or he's facing life behind bars, and it looks like they leaning towards death penalty because he's just been brought up on 2 new charges where it could be possible death penalty. And I'm like, this man, he was hurt, he lost his mind. You know what I'm saying? I don't think he needs to lose his life. It's too many people done died in this story already. And I feel like it's just a sad commentary. But yeah, that I had to cover that story, guys, because it was simply it was just crazy. You know what I'm saying? It was like it was crazy and it was sad at the same time. We praying for both families. We pray. My prayer is that justice will thoroughly be served in this case. And if he is most definitely suffering from mental illness, I want him to get the help that he needs. And then if he can have a break like that and react like that, then yeah, maybe he don't need to be among society. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe he do need to be behind bars if he can do that, be reactionary like that. You know what I'm saying? So my prayers is with him. All right, guys, we're gonna move on to the grease man himself, Puff Daddy. Before we go any farther, you know what we about to do. We about to pause for the cause, and the cause is support. I want y'all to check this out. Check it out.
Amazon author Clayleen Woods has a passion for children's literature. Check out her newest book, Fly at Bumblebee High. It's a story about differences and how to just get along. Amazon author Clayleen Woods has supplied all of your literary needs on Amazon. Whether you are an individual, a woman that suffers from depression or low self-esteem, or if you are a little one that looks like us, that may be experiencing bullying at school, or you just don't feel like you fit in, she has the book for you that will give you the pick you up that you need. You are beautiful, you are special, and you are valued. And just in case your family or society have not told you, she has took on the burden, not even the burden, but the cause to tell you that you are beautiful. You are exceptional. You are phenomenal. Check.
All right, guys, if you go type my name in Amazon, all right, I want y'all to do me a favor. Go type my name, Clayleen Woods, which I was supposed to get my name changed on the 21st, but had to work. So I still Clayleen Woods on paper, but we are always publicly going by Clayleen Bright. Okay, you understand what I'm saying? But anywho, if you type Clayleen Woods in um Amazon search browser, all of my literary work will come up and support. I got everything you need. You want to get close to God with a prayer manual, I got that. You understand what I'm saying? If you want to feel good and have positive affirmation for yourself, I got that. If you want to have a positive affirmation book for your little one, your beautiful brown chocolate, beautiful child, I got that too. If you don't know how to talk to your child about grief, if somebody important has died in their life and they're too young, I got that. That's what the book Fly is about. It's about dealing with grief at a young age and how to explain that to your child. I got that. If you a mother, just had a baby, got postpartum, and don't know how to talk to your baby about it, I got that. Mama Got the Blues. That's what that book is about. It's all on Amazon. If you're dealing with a child who's dealing with bullying, and you need something that's dealing with inclusion, I got that. That's called Fly at Bumblebee High. That's dealing with young children who are entering into school age. I got it all. It's there. Support, 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 support. All right. If a million people bought a book for $1, I'll be a millionaire. That's how many books I got. No, just playing. All right, guys. So go support, support. All right. This section of my show is sponsored by Johnson and Johnson. Okay, people. It's sponsored by Johnson and Johnson. It's sponsored by canola oil. It's sponsored by Crisco. It's sponsored by olive oil. It's gonna be real greasy up in here. Okay. So we're gonna be getting ready to talk about Puff Daddy. Not Baby Oil Johnson. Yeah, Baby Oil Johnson, honey. That's what we doing, Score. It's about to get real slippery up in here. It's about to get real slippery up in here, real slimy. Because this gorilla right here, this gorilla right here, listen, I tried to do my best, y'all. I tried to give y'all a play-by-play, but it got kind of slippery and I fell off. I couldn't attack the story because I kept losing my grip because it was too greasy. I couldn't attack the story. I couldn't. You hear me, Scorp? I couldn't do it, honey. It was too much. I'm like, this man got to be one of the most, man, the transcript alone, you can see through the transcript. That's how greasy it is. I'm like, my God, I'm gonna go ahead and leave it to Tisa and Tasha K and everybody else. I'm gonna leave that thing to y'all. Because I couldn't do it. But I am gonna talk about it a little bit today. You understand what I'm saying? Because I'm like, I got to say something. So the newest thing that happened in the trial, apparently this is day. And I'm getting my information from the New York Post. This is oh God. See, this is what I'm talking about with these people here. This is what I'm talking about with these people. I've got it from the New York Post, but let me go back. All right, so this is I want to say Diddy's trial. I want to say day 5, but I don't see it up in here. I thought it said day 5. But the latest people to grace the stage, to slide in on the stage, was Kid Cudi. Okay, you know he's a former rapper. He's also a former boyfriend of Cassie's. And you know it was alleged that Puff Daddy blew up his car and set his porch on fire. And it was alleged that he done went in there and opened up all the Christmas gifts and tore the man's house up and locked his dog up. I'm like, what kind of man is we dealing with up in this piece? What kind of man is we dealing with? So we're going to dive into this testimony, then we're going to do a little bit of discussion, okay? So rapper Kid Cudi took the stand at the sex trafficking trial, Sean Diddy Combs. Now, they really trying to get him on the sex trafficking, but they saying that the next victim number 2, they're not releasing her name yet, but they saying that she is really going to set up and establish that that claim of sex trafficking. They saying like Cassie didn't really do too good. They're saying that like she kind of pointed them at domestic violence, and that's not what they're trying to get him on. That's not one of the crimes that he's being accused of. He's being accused of sex trafficking, and so they're saying that she didn't really support the case. You know what I'm saying? But they're saying that the second victim, she's going to do it. And I got a feeling that it's this lady I saw. She was one of the victims of P. Diddy. And that she was of I want to say of Mexican descent. And she talked about being SA'd on a pool table in one of his studios, and it was horrific. And if that's the one that they getting ready to use, then it's over for him. Because every marker just about that they are using for racketeering and SA coercion and extortion, her case meets. And so we're going to find out next week if she is, because if she is one of them, and they've been trying to silence her, you know what I'm saying, object before she even got on the stand. If it is her, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. Because Cassie, she geared her case is geared towards domestic violence. And in some of that stuff, she's on tape and she's in print requesting and it seemed to be condoning, even though we all know she did it out of fear. You know what I'm saying? She did it because that was her boyfriend and she was in fear. And so she just went on. We know that. But the way it looked like, you know what I'm saying, that she was a party of it. You know what I'm saying? All right. So it says Kid Cudi took the stand, had on a leather jacket with an earring, and he was smoking as he walked in. I'm like, do he want somebody to play some theme music or something? I don't know. But anywho, it says shocking details as a disgrace of rap mogul once broke into his house in a jealous rage, locking his dog in the bathroom, and later set Cudi's Porsche on fire in his driveway. Now, all of this stuff is allegedly. Cudi, who's 41, said he was in love with the R&B singer Cassie Ventura, 38, Diddy's ex-girlfriend, and the star witness in the case. Yet admitted she played both rappers by dating them at the same time. Now, my thing is this. If this man assaulted you, burnt your house up, tore up your gifts, and then assaulted your dog, why would you use the word played unless you had some type of ill will and bitterness and then take this case serious? Like, this is a very serious case. Multiple women and individuals were harmed by the actions of this man, and you ain't doing nothing by helping this man. It's like he walked in there, and the way they say he was testifying, it was like he was jocking on her. He was hanging off his sack. Why would you say she played both of us? No, you stick to the script. Just talk about the details of what happened to you and what this man did to you. I mean, what did he do? He slid you some money to come in there and be biased? Talking about she played both of us. This man literally kicked this woman in the face and drug her down the hallway. You should have been coming in there in support of her. And you should have been using vague terms that you shouldn't even been using the word that sound with the letter P. Talking about she played both of us. Like, I'm gonna need you to stop. That baby mad. By dealing with him at the same time. Combs, 55, is accused of using his fame, fortune, and many businesses to run racketeering schemes in which he controlled Cassie for over a decade, using violence, threats, forcing her, and other drug-fueled freak-offs, sex marathons. You understand? And I believe that. I believe it. I believe it. And you come on, y'all know it happened. When I watched that man on making the band, honey, I said this man he owned one. He is fueled by his own ego. He was riding off his own drug. He was his own drug. See, that's what happens when people get to the top. I don't understand that. You know what I'm saying? The love of money is the root of all evil. He felt untouchable because he had the protection of all those gatekeepers, all those allegedly rich white corporations and rich old white under down low white men. I'm sorry, allegedly protecting him, and he felt invincible. You understand what I'm saying? He was like the dream killer. He had all these talented people around him and they never really took off. They never really took off. And B2K, oh my God. Lord help me, Jesus. The way that group was done so bad. It broke my heart. Oh my goodness. Okay, so he's accused of that and they're really trying to build the case and prove that. You know what I'm saying? They really are. So he comes strolling himself up in there. And he talked about that. And then he talked about how the top of his car was tore open and somebody put in a Molotov cocktail in there and burnt it up. And then there was one instance, I think he said about a year ago, a couple of years later, they met again to talk about it and they shook hands. And he said, man, what about my car? And he said when he walked in the room, said Puff Daddy was standing there like he was a superhero, a Marvel superhero, with his hands behind his back. And he said, what car? But the way he was describing the situation was like he was almost memorializing the man. I'm like, get off. This man about to spend the rest of his life in jail, honey. You ain't finna get another deal. You're not going to get nothing out of taking it easy on this man because he's never going to see the light of day. It's all hands on deck. That's what we need to convict this greasy some of the some. Do you understand what I'm saying? It said the trial is not televised because cameras are not allowed inside because of the federal courthouse. But they most definitely found enough to update. They're looking for they are looking for victim 2 to testify on Tuesday. So I'm gonna be ready for that. And then they have if you want to do your own research, they do have new photos. They got new photos of Kid Cudi's car that was set on fire. And the way we talk, we so dramatic. The way they were talking, it was like this man's car. Diddy exploded the car. Man, when I tell you, it ain't nothing but seat damage and roof damage done to this man's car. Like it ain't blew up. So he testified that he believes Sean Diddy Combs allegedly was behind the January 2012 car bombing because he was mad that he had a fling for Cassie. I mean, that's weird. You know what I'm saying? They're also saying that Allegedly, P. Diddy might have did something to Albie Shore, and that's why he got sick. Allegedly. I don't believe that. You know what I'm saying? I don't believe it. But I do believe that this man is rageful. I do believe that he has a rage in him. I do believe that he was controlling. I do believe that he had a lot of condemning tapes. And y'all notice how they not talking about the tapes no more? Because they feel like they got enough witnesses to go ahead and convict him. But y'all notice how them tapes ain't leaked out nowhere? Man, I think a couple of them may have leaked out on the dark web. But you notice how all of those tapes, where's the tapes? Run the tapes. Yes, he's crazy, Scorpio. Where's the tapes? Where's all of these tapes that y'all found that y'all know y'all got? The public know y'all got them because the man said he recorded everything. Where's the blackmail? And if you come up with the tapes, that's extortion right there. Because he got these people on tapes. You think he ain't using these tapes to get what he was getting in life? Where is the tapes that ain't no? Because these people don't bought the tapes. Whoever's on them tapes, they don't bought them tapes. You hear me? Where's Jennifer alleged tape? Where's it at? I want to ask one question and one question only. Where are these tapes? And they are there because in the other case with that producer, and I forgot his name, Rod, he said for a year he was paid to chronicle lies and videotape Puffy's movements on a daily basis. Where are those tapes? And not only that, he got screenshots in his case of freak offs. So where's the live footage of those screenshots? You said they hid the tapes on that plane. Now, it was a land, Scorpio, that they said that they took that plane in the middle of the ocean and they was watching it and somebody was dumping stuff out. I'm like, if they opened up that plane, it would have exploded. You know, black folks will make up some stuff. If they would have opened up that plane would have exploded. It ain't no helicopter. It's a whole jet. I don't understand why people be saying stuff like that. It just don't make no sense. You understand what I'm saying? Where's the tapes? Because they there. And I'm quite sure there are a whole bunch of celebrities on there that would be, cringing if they knew the public would get hold of this. So they try to get these people who are like, that he physically touched and you know what I'm saying, that will come forward to convict him. But if that don't work, I feel like they're going to have to break out the tapes. You understand what I'm saying? I mean, they broke out R. Kelly tapes. And I know R. Kelly sitting back. I know he's sitting back. It's not funny at all. I'm not laughing at the heartache of women. I'm not. But I know R. Kelly is sitting back and like, oh my God. He's probably saying, let me get his welcome mat together. Because you coming. You going to jail, sir. You're going to jail. They said Dawn, from Danny Kane, she testified, but they said it wasn't really, really, really effective. I'm like, is he paying these people off before they get to the stage? Because prior to this, she was in the news, because she got a case that she's getting ready to do, and her lawyer specifically came to this case to try to get more evidence, supportive evidence for their case. So she came in there with subpoena and was walking in there like a big dog. But when she got on the stage, on the stand, they were saying that she wasn't really effective. I'm like, is she waiting for her case? Because don't you know that the prosecutor, his lawyers, defendants, is listening to everything that you're saying, and they're going to use this against you in your case? So I would have been going with both barrels blazing. That makes me think that it's some type of payola going on somewhere. Because y'all walking in there, before y'all get in there, y'all got a lot to say. You know what I'm saying? But when y'all get in there, y'all dummying it down. But it's gonna hang on this victim number 2. If victim number 2 is who I think she is, it's a wrap. And if that don't work, then they're gonna have to unloose the tapes. Bottom line. And what's going on with the mama? I'm like, she walking in there like she owns something. Owns something. Talking about she wearing a different wig every day, and that's sending a signal to her son because he know how much she love fancy wigs. I was like, y'all crazy as heck up in this piece. Y'all crazy as heck up in this piece, for real. All of the lives this man has damaged. Do you know the chickens are coming home to roost? And do you know that you reap what you sow? And do you know that God is not a man that he should lie, nor the son of man that he should repent? Do you understand that your day is coming? You think you're gonna do 10 years, 20 years of enslaving and abusing women and get away with it? They said at one instance, Cassie walked out the room and she had knots in her head where it was swollen when she had been beat allegedly in her head. She got pictures of bruises, but what I feel like they should have led with was domestic violence. They should have led with the domestic violence, because I mean it is proof all over the place of that. You got a whole video of him doing that. I mean, that's just opening up the door. He could have got at least a good 20 years of that, lock him up, and then throw the rest of the charges on there. But y'all trying to prove racketeering when the house that they raided him in is not even in his name. He don't even own that. And y'all saying that he conducted sex trafficking through that. The facilitator of that house did that. Yeah, he gonna go to jail, but it's a lot of stuff that in his name. A lot of them calls and those hookups and those Planet Cassie did that, and he knew what he was doing. So they got an uphill road to do. He gonna go to jail, but is he gonna go to jail on the charges of racketeering, or is he gonna go to jail on something else? I mean, they got him on the illegal drugs. They need to be tacking that on there. I mean, it was drugs everywhere in that house. They got him on domestic violence because he done beat the chef up. They got him on trafficking drugs because of his assistant. They caught him with drugs on him. But this racketeering, no, this is mob charges. They created racketeering and RICO for the mob. I don't know. I honestly don't know. Because you got to prove certain tenets of that charge in order to convict. And they make that very clear to the jury. They make that extremely clear to the jury. So we're going to see. We're going to see. I don't know what y'all think. Y'all think they gonna get him on the RICO? Or what y'all think they're going to get him on? Because I'm like this. Y'all need to be doing him like that. Y'all doing Mr. Hinton. Y'all need to be pulling us some charges out of the thin air. Y'all need to be creating some extra charges. Because we know for a fact that he beat Cassie, but y'all ain't got him for domestic violence. Y'all ain't got him for that. Y'all ain't charging him for that. So it's even some commentators are saying that he may get off on the RICO. And if he get off on the RICO, then y'all might as well hang it up, because this story gonna fade in about a good 3 news cycles. If y'all don't get him on the RICO, y'all can forget it. If it's one technicality where they can't prove, it's like you got to prove certain tenets of the whole matter before y'all can get the full charge. And if it's one off, you can hang it up, because they're going to win. Because they instructing those juries, you got to read that charge very clear. And if he don't meet those criteria, then you cannot charge him with that RICO. And so that's why it's so, they better have some bomb witnesses coming forth, man, for real. And I'm like, y'all better go get Usher. Somebody, just tell him, take one for the team. We still gonna buy, well, y'all still gonna buy his tickets. Just come on. Sure. We need Justin, come on. Well, where's that man at what's his name? Farswell. Go get him, the man with the umbrella. Bring him out. Go find him. Sure. Farnsworth. Go get him. Cause if y'all don't get him on this, baby, he walking. I'm sorry. He gonna holler and shake right on up out of there. Him, his mama with the crazy wigs, the twins, the 2 crazy sons, all of them. They gonna be out. They're gonna be out. They're gonna be out. So yeah, so those are the updates to the story. So we waiting on Tuesday for victim number 2. Victim number 2. And I hope they got a heavy hitter because this right here, this case is something. I mean, it's like a show. One shout out to Tisa Tales because she most definitely, honey, she out there in her what do you call that? She in her trench coat and that bandana wig, honey. She is giving us the blow by blow. You understand what I'm saying? She out there, honey. She is out there. All right. So I went on and touched it just a little bit. Now I got to go wash all this baby oil off of me. You understand what I'm saying? I mean the craziness though. For real though, the craziness of this case. They said that he showed up in the hotel room with a Muslim woman's guard from the neck up and then just butt naked the rest of the way. I'm like, what is this man trying to do? What is he trying to do? Oh my God. Oh my goodness. Can you imagine walking in a room and seeing this man like that? I'm like, quit playing with me. Quit playing with me. Quit playing with me, y'all. Oh my goodness. You come in a hotel room and this man got on a hijab. That's what they call him. A hijab, and then the rest of the way he butt naked. Like, what kind of crazy stuff is you got going on? And Nancy Grace, y'all go over there and check out Nancy Grace. She is raking him under the cold. Do you hear what I say? Nancy done straightened up that bob, honey, and she is raking him over the cold. Do you hear me? Oh, this is crazy. This is crazy, y'all. It's crazy. And I downloaded the transcript, but I think I'm gonna go ahead and undownload it because this is too much. Y'all go and download yourself. But yeah, we gonna see what's gonna happen. And if it get too good and juicy, I may come back out and talk a little bit more about it. All right, y'all. I ain't gonna hold y'all long because I see some of my friends are going live. Y'all go over there and support CMA. He's going live. I just seen the notification. I'm gonna head over there and show him some love as well, guys. I hope y'all enjoyed the live. I was too tired to cam up. I was tired today. My body's I'm 49 going through menopause. My body is doing whatever it wants to do. And so I said I ain't camming up because I want to be relaxed. You understand what I'm saying? But I love y'all. Thank y'all for supporting. Thank you for riding with me, Scorp. I know you're still up in this mug. All right. So go out and do something nice for somebody. Y'all know what I'm about to say. This is the order of the queen to do something nice for somebody if it ain't nothing but showing a smile. Or, pumping somebody gas or picking up a piece of paper that somebody done dropped or dropping off some cash or whatever you want to do to somebody because you reap what you sow. All right. This is your Queen Clay Lean saying be great. Bye-bye.